Konnichiwa, Japan fans. Today's show, we're going to do part 2 of our elements of outstanding customer service. Eigo desu. それでは行きましょう. So let's get going. This is the 8th year of the Sales Japan Series podcast, broadcasting around the world from the Beverly Hills of Japan, Minato-ku here in downtown Tokyo. It is chic central. I'm your host, Dr. Greg Story, Dale Carnegie Tokyo franchise owner, the president of Dale Carnegie Tokyo Training, and the 3-time best-selling author of Japan Sales Mastery, which is Zaegyo in Japanese, Japan Business Mastery, and Japan Presentations Mastery, or in Japanese, Anata mo Presen no Tachijin. My other books include Stop Wasting Money on Training, which in Japanese is Tonin de Okane o Moni Suru wa Yamemashou, and my just released new book is Japan Leadership Mastery, and all are available on Amazon. In this podcast, I want to help you to survive, and even better, thrive in business. I want you to 1, sell more and do it more easily. 2, exceed your targets. In fact, let's blow up your targets. Number 3, make some serious money. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast with your family, friends, and colleagues. We're not being sponsored by Libsyn, but we value your privacy, which is why we have our podcast hosted by Libsyn. Unlike many other hosting organizations, Libsyn have a strict policy that does not allow access to your private information by anyone. Here is our daily podcast lineup on Apple Podcasts. Mondays, the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show podcast. Tuesday, the Presentations Japan series. And every second Tuesday, the Business Tachijin no Oshie Show. Wednesdays, the Sales Japan series. Thursdays, the Leadership Japan series. And every second Thursday, the Business Pro Podcast Show. Fridays, the Japan Business Mastery Show podcast. Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews. Now, this is episode number 399, and today we're talking about elements of outstanding customer service in Japan, part 2. In part 1, we look at some of the elements we need to be working on in providing excellent customer service, and so now let's continue. Number 1, friendly. This would seem to be a very basic requirement in customer service, but often the wrong people are placed in these roles, and many of them don't like people. Even those who do like people can suffer brutal invective from irate customers, and this can impinge on their joy for the work. In Japan, the land of the customer is God, we now see legislation against harassment of workers by customers. Dogeza is where you get down on your knees and bow by putting your head on the floor, and is the ultimate sign of apology in Japan. In Chinese culture, we know it as the kowtow. Angry customers have been known to force staff to do the Dogeza to apologise for the unsatisfactory service they have provided. It will be very hard to be friendly after being put through that experience. Japan is catching up in this regard, and these types of outbursts will reduce as the system stops tolerating unbridled rage by customers. Number 2, develop loyal fans. This is related to being friendly. The idea is to not just provide a great one-off service, but to enroll the customers as repeaters and make them loyal fans. All sales should have this as the goal. In Japan, though, we receive aloof but polite service. Those serving see their role in the dimension of providing the good or service, and that is it. There are very few cases where the person serving is trying to establish connection with the customer and encourage them to come back. Maybe they think that is the job of the marketing department and nothing to do with them. There are many instances where I frequent the same establishment, but the service is never personalised. It is efficient and polite, but impersonal. I am treated just like everyone else, and there is no recognition that you are a regular. Notable exceptions would be Alibaba and Lindo near my office in Akasaka, Shinsen Hanten in Nagatacho, and Ilios Lacanda in Hansamon, but these are rare cases. How hard is it to recognise regulars? Not very. All the staff have to do is say, "Thank you for coming back. What can I do for you today?" I love Princi from Milano in Teesside, in Daikanyama. Go there very regularly. And 5 years later, I am still waiting for the day they recognise me as a loyal customer. Obviously, in most cases, there is no training or guidance for this. So to always buy the manual, and we, the customer, are left feeling flat. Number 3, immediately responsive. Customers are all busy all the day long, and they hate wasting their valuable time. Service provision, which is slow or late, is particularly a problem in this high-speed world we inhabit today. When there are problems, we want them fixed fast, because we are losing time by not having the good of service work as we expected. I ordered some deodorant on Amazon and was contacted by Japan Post to tell me the package was wet, which meant there'd been some interior damage. I went online and registered a problem, and I was very happy to immediately hear from the supplier that they would refund my money, and they told me to not accept the package. I was mentally bracing for trouble, prevarication, quibbling and fudging, but their instant response was better than my low expectations. I was very happy, and that is the same with all of us. We want things fixed and fast. Staff need to be trained to provide it. Find out more when we come back from the break. Our show today is brought to you by our public courses, and we also have custom in-house programs as well as both in Japanese and English. We do classes in our super safe classroom, and we do them live online. Our show today is being brought to you by on the 12th and 13th of September, our high impact presentations course. On the 13th of September, we'll start our Dale Carnegie course 12-week version. Our website is www.dale-carnegie.co.jp. Email me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. If you like learning by watching videos, then we have over 2,300 there for you at Tokyo, Japan, Dale Carnegie TV on YouTube. We release 3 shows every week on YouTube. The Cutting Edge Japan Business Show, that's the premier business show in Japan, every Monday, Tokyo time. Fridays, we have the Japan Business Mastery Show, and on Saturdays, we release Japan's top business interviews, where I interview leaders from SMEs right up to the corporate captains of industry on one topic, leading in Japan. Now, every second Thursday, we release the Business Pro Television Show. Don't forget to grab my business best-selling books on Japan on Amazon. Japan Sales Mastery, which is Saegyo in Japanese, Japan Business Mastery, and Japan Presentations Mastery, or in Japanese, Anata mo Presen no Tachijin. My other books include Stop Wasting Money on Training, which in Japanese is Training de Okane o Muri ni suru no wa yamemashou, and my just released new book is Japan Leadership Mastery, and all are available on Amazon. Welcome back. Number 4, never combative. I hate one thing in particular, and I've hated it in my whole life, and that is being told no. I'm sure that I'm not the only customer who's like that. One of the great ways of telling a customer no is to reference third parties. When I was at the Shinsei Bank, sometimes the customer would want us to do something which was not possible. Banking, by the way, is a highly regulated industry with tomes of rules. If we said, no, we can't do that, then to someone like me, that is a red flag to a bull, and I will tell you the 1,000 reasons why it has to be a yes. Instead, we'd firstly agree that we could do it. Then we would pause, reflect in an obvious way, and then ask the customer what to do about the Financial Services Agency, the FSA rule, that prohibits that action. Now, we've said yes at the first, so they are relieved and their guard is down. Next, we've made it a problem between them and the FSA and not with us. Third-party direction works well if you can access it. Number 5, seeking win-win outcomes. Win-win is an obvious best solution, but many systems are not designed that way. This forces the staff into confrontation with the customer, and it creates unnecessary tensions. Staff training will not easily overcome a structural problem. Take a good look at your internal rules and systems, see if they are designed in a way to be a lose to the customer and a win to the firm. Change them or improve them if possible. Number 6, no excuses. Highly litigious cultures like the US are hardwired to never admit guilt or responsibility, which can drive the customer nuts. There are some personalities who cannot admit being wrong and will try some mealy-mouthed linguistic gymnastics to avoid taking accountability. I hate these types of people in any form. As the customer, we don't want excuses. We want solutions, compensation, or retribution. We want you to fix the problem, and we want it now. Again, this is about how we train and empower people. The Ritz-Carlton hotel chain is famous for giving staff a certain amount of money they can write off to keep the customer happy. It works, as I've experienced this firsthand. I was staying in their Washington, D.C. property, and I went down for breakfast at the 6:30 a.m. opening time, but the waiter apologised that they were not ready yet. I said, no problem. I'll just sit by the window over there and read my paper. He later came and told me they were now ready. When I went to pay, the waiter said, compliments of the Ritz-Carlton because we have inconvenienced you by making you wait. That was service, I thought, and here I am telling all and sundry about it for them years later. In part 3, we will wrap up this look at outstanding customer service. Thank you for joining the Sales Japan series. If you found the program useful, then please work on your karma and share this with your family, friends, and colleagues. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast. Immediately apply what you've learned. Go out there and survive. Use it and make some serious money. Bucks, dough, ruler, coin, dosh, lolly, readies, smackers, earners, and bread and honey. Remember, I'm in your corner, your go-to guy for soft skills training in Tokyo, committed to your success here in Nippon.